I like the idea of the secret fatty.
Welcome to
This one's 16 minutes. Yo, can you guess who's the fake fatty?
Here wear jeans. Like just
Oh, they're blindfolded. Okay. Let me speed this up a little bit.
yeah. Where do you guys buy your jeans from?
That honestly depends. I've had some luck. I mean, I present more masculine, so a lot of the times I will like resource to Old Navy.
There's a couple of skinny
get one of the bigger pairs. I actually did
frauds
get a pair from Old Navy like a couple weeks ago, and I love it.
Oh, it's just that one dude.
Anyway, so I do have to take it in. I'm probably gonna tailor it though. So, but I do love Old Navy's jeans, especially their men's section.
I don't really wear jeans, but I think the only two pairs that I own are from Shein.
Okay, I gotta say, this girl, these two people here don't look like what I would consider plus sized. I mean, I'm not the gatekeeper of the plus size community, but they don't look like they need a special store to buy jeans from. You know what I mean?
I feel like it depends what's.
Who conceived of it? Who thought of this concept? The Jubilee people are on some weird shit.
Style I'm going for.
True.
Like for fitted jeans, I definitely think like Good American's my go-to. Obviously, they're like on the higher end of like pricing wise, but they like make my ass look great.
Well, that's the thing. Also, like getting the confidence to actually wear what you want, it took me forever. So when I actually did, I'm still in the mentality when I was like 16, 17, I could fit in a medium. So I'm like, oh, I can't go to the same stores. Like I can't go to a mall and buy clothes anymore.
I would say 2 years ago, I would go to like Goodwills and Value Villages, but that has been
Oh, we got a skinny fraud bitch talking demon. I can hear it in your voice, you skinny bit. Uh-huh. Tell me more about where you used to buy your jeans, you fraud.
Goodwills and Value Villages, but that has become a lot harder as of late. The reason that I chose to do this was mainly because it meant a lot to me to share the idea.
The reason I wanted to do this is because I hate fat people. I wanted to humiliate them. Look how skinny I am. Is the dialogue too fast? Maybe I'll just turn this.
Of like, as you transition away from being in a bigger body to potentially being in a skinnier body, that is not something that like makes you harder working or better at like achieving some sort of goal than the other person or another person that you may see in a plus size body. And going into it, I like promised myself I wasn't gonna tell any lies. I was gonna be very truthful and speak on every kind of experience that I had leading up to today. I wanted to make sure that what I was saying was stuff that I'd lived through. I think putting on a character would be disrespectful to the other people that were here today.
Skinny demon, bro. Yo, go do your show with the other skinny people. This is fat time. This is plus size time, boy. You ain't welcome around here. Mm-hmm. What size that waist, boy? Yo, tell me, you shop at a special store for them plus size jeans? I'm sensing a little skinny sounding voice there, boy. That's right. Tell me, what was the last meal you ate?
And like I have a tailor for my pants anyway. Like back in,
tailors.
yeah, 100%. Especially when I'm back home. I'm 15 minutes outside of New York City, so I usually just commute in there. There's this one thrift store, I don't know if anybody's been, called the L Train, and like that is really good for carrying.
You're talking too much, bro.
Back in my actual hometown, I can go to my tailor very easily. It's like a 5-minute drive from my house.
Okay.
So I thrift probably 90% of my clothing, cheaper, saves energy, and like it.
Bro, you're talking too much. This isn't the fucking skinny dude show. I want to hear the fatties talk shop, man. Actually, I'm looking for some tips on where to get some plus size shit. This guy's just going on and on like nobody cares, dude.
Easier.
There is no way he's gonna go pay like $15 for jeans, then go pay $45. Like I get it, as a plus size person, tailoring for some things, great. But I could not believe for a second that he is tailoring every set. And I was
Hell
like,
no.
He is not fat anymore.
That's
Not gonna lie, I
right.
shop at Ross a lot or Marshalls, and finding
Homie, you're
jeans
not
is
that
hard.
plus size. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You know what I mean? It's not that bad. Or not that
And-
plus size. Not to imply there's something bad with it. Yo, you guys are right. We need a fat minute. We've had enough pride minutes. We need a fat minute for all our fatties to stand up in unison. Although we all fatties can't stand up at once, so we'll shift the gravity, the polarity of Earth, send it off axis.
Finding jeans is hard. It's a hit or miss. Sometimes at Ross they'll have bigger sizes, sometimes they don't. But if it says stretch, then I'm usually good on it.
Hey, that's where I'm at
jeans
too, bro.
I realized that. I usually shop at like American Eagle. Jeans in general are like a struggle to find. Either they fit your thighs and they don't fit your waist, or they fit your waist and it's a
What's the
struggle.
timer? What's happening? Oh, she knows.
Oh man. I did feel, I guess, invalidated in a point because they were talking about, brands and, and stuff that I can't really afford. So I thought my answer of, I shop at Ross because that's what I could afford. I thought
This guy's
that's
awesome.
what-
I love him. Yo, I love you, bro. Such a good guy. You can tell. Love this guy, man. I shop at Ross too, brother. Pound it for that.
Kind of eliminated me.
So I was gonna say, if any of you guys did any form of like performance as a kid. I
Wait,
know
he
it
got
was-
eliminated? Wait. Oh, because 3 voted for him? Okay, I see.
So I was gonna say, if any of you guys did any form of like performance as a kid, and I know we were talking about how some of us were models before, sorry about names, but how that affected you growing up and how like the idea of performing and being on stage was definitely more difficult for you than your peers.
That is an awesome question.
Well, you start since there.
Yeah. So I was on the math team for my elementary school, which was like very fun and I enjoyed it a lot. But before our first meet, when we were doing practices and such, they gave us the vest sizes. And I remember putting on the largest vest size that they had and it clinging to my skin and making me very uncomfortable. And I walked into the bathroom and I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, I can't do this. And
What are you doing, bro? You're fucking lying. Wait, does this guy lose weight? I'm confused. Ooh, he said he wasn't gonna lie.
quit. And it really frustrated me that I let that take away something that meant a lot to me. That was definitely like my first experience with like, it is very difficult for me that outside elements are going to take who I am and make
Right.
that a form of a problem.
As a woman
Bro, he's
in a
lying.
plus-size theater community, it's like I always got the funny roles or the really unattractive roles, and I'm like, I'm big. That doesn't mean I'm hilarious. Like,
Bro, we could talk about this forever.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
super powerful because performing and becoming into yourself.
She
you
says
have to-
not all fatties are funny. I mean, listen, that's all we got as fat people. We gotta work what we've got, girl. If you're not funny, you better get funny quick. Someone said, isn't the point that he's lying? But he said he wasn't gonna lie. Oh, he lost the weight. See, if he lost the weight, then he knows. Then he knows exactly what to say. Like, how could they possibly guess which one's skinny if he knows what it's like to be a fatty?
to be overly confident and fake it till you make it, or it will tear you down. So I'm very sorry that that happened to you.
How do we all identify? Do we identify, like, what do we use to label ourselves if you have one?
P-H-A-T. Thank you.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
that.
I have a weird feeling about that one for some reason.
Really?
I like just normal.
Yeah.
Because I'll say fat, and then people will be like, "Oh my God, fat!" And then I'll be like, "It's not inherently a bad
No,
word.
it's
It's
not
an
taboo. Like,
adjective."
I
That's
say
the
fat all
thing.
the
No, but it
time.
is kind of taboo because I was like, oh yeah, I'm fat. Don't
Okay,
say
well,
that,
if
you're
he used to be plus size, he looks great. I mean, shout out to this king. Looks skinny legend. Looks awesome, dude. I thought you were skinny from birth, boy. I thought you was skinny just like that, boy. Good for you, brother. Someone says, isn't that the point of the game? Yeah, but like, there needs to be some element that makes it like plausible for those people to guess that he's an imposter. You know what I mean? It's literally, I think that was Dan. He said he was assigned skinny at birth. True. Like, it's not a fair game. I know it's the premise, but if he was born skinny, assigned skinny from birth, skinny presenting, pronouns are super skinny, it's not a fair game.
I am gorgeous, but I am fat.
I didn't say I was ugly.
It's oh my god,
Yeah,
bro.
sorry, I misspoke.
I was
People
like,
treat it like it's
right,
taboo, and
right.
that's
So
the
it's
issue, really.
it's two truths. I'm like,
Exactly, yeah.
I feel beautiful, but I am fat. Being fat or plus size does not mean that we're not active, that we're not nice people, that we're not worthy. It really sucks when people treat you differently because you're a size 18 rather than a size 2 or 4.
When I, like, for example,
I agree, man. I've having been through this journey where I got up to like 250, the way that people treat you and look at you it's crazy, bro. People think that they can like say and think anything about you, and they see the overweightness as weakness. But again, it's like, bro, whoever's judging you, I guarantee y'all got addiction and vices. The only difference is that you don't have to wear your addictions and vices on your shoulder for everyone to judge you. You know, if being an alcoholic made your skin turn like blue, then you know, we can fucking talk about what it's like to be a little smurf ass alcoholic bitch. But yeah, it's honestly been an eye-opening experience becoming, seeing how people treated me so different when I gained a lot of weight. You know, fat man bad.
Oh, great example. I went Halloween shopping, and it's really hard because, like, first and foremost, trying to find the plus size costumes, they're like, oh, it's just kind of integrated everywhere. And it's like, realistically, you have 200 costumes here, but only like 10 are for plus size. Then I go on to the other costumes, and I was like, oh, my choice is to be like a duck or like the plus size nun costume covered boobs, knees, everything, but the skinny costume for the other nun was like tits out for her. And I'm like, so I literally, like, my choice is like be a bubble bath or a duck, and I'm like, I need a plus size section when I walk into somewhere because we have not progressed in human society.
There was this brand that had this big campaign saying they were launching extended sizes, and then it came out and it was like completely different than the straight sizes, and I'm like, we are just asking for the same thing.
Why do they get cocktail dresses and
So again, I understand the premise. There's no plausible way that they can know who is skinny from that conversation. It's literally just a random. It's just random. It's not a good game. They don't know who to vote for. I love her commitment to him. She knows.
Shut the up.
Oh no, she's the only one that knew that could sniff out the skinny.
Yo, oh my God.
I didn't know it.
Who voted me out?
I am equally shocked.
She has skinny energy, girl. Just go with it.
I'm psychic. I know. One of you was onto something.
If you think the mole is still in the box and you wish to continue playing the game, please raise your hand.
I think the odd one out is probably somebody who lived as a fat person, but lost the weight. But usually, a lot of the time, people that do grow up fat or go through weight loss journey, they end up being more fat phobic. That's not in all cases. It's not in all cases, but it does happen a lot.
I know that does happen, but is that really true? That like, it definitely is a phenomenon where the maybe it's something about like growing up fat and then getting skinny. Like I was always super skinny as a kid. I don't know. It definitely is a thing. Ask ChatGPT, someone said.
Turning in on that, like I really do think that in my personal experience, people that go from being in a bigger body into like becoming skinny feel some sort of resentment, especially because I think they tie achievement to what they've done for some reason. Like there's this very big principle of like, look at what I've done, and they push this like American dream-esque mentality of like genuinely like I worked hard and I did this. And it's like, well, not everybody wants to do that.
And like, that's fine. That's fine. If you want to lose weight, do that, but you don't need to like project that onto everyone else. And I would think if you were somebody who lived that experience as a fat person, you would understand.
Honestly, dating, I've met many guys who were like, I used to be big, so I understand that being smaller is more desirable, and it's just like this conversation just rubs me the wrong way because I've been met with so many people who think like that, and like the worst person I dated was.
This is boring. This game sucks. It's not fair. It's not a fair game. I really want to watch this. Are men falling behind?
Can I ask you a question though, or
let me
ask
just
the group
skip
a
around.
question? There's more world leaders who are male, and typically I think
Good,
leadership.
that's a good thing. Women should not be positions of extreme leadership like president.
Come on, who are these people? Aren't real people. Come on. Are you trying to get a podcast like with get a red pill podcast money?
Et cetera, because we're too emotional.
I'm feeling a lot of emotion.
Come on, you can't really. This is the weirdest one when you find these women who are like, I guess you would just call it eternalized misogyny, but like, I don't believe that they actually think that, right? I think they're just doing. They like the attention it gets them. They like to attract these weird alpha men with this kinds of like silly shit. Wait, the dudes are all feminists and the women are all anti-feminists? What the fuck? Where are they finding these people? What the fuck? What the fuck? What did they go over to the Daily Wire and just scoop up all the women? It's the weirdest premise I've ever seen.
If you agree, step forward. Women have more privileges today than men.
Jesus, she said step forward, not jog to the fucking exit. We get it.
Went back and forth on this one, thinking about the difference between more and different. I think women have distinctly different.
First of all, the label of anti-feminist on face value is insane. Like you can disagree with certain tenets of feminism, and there's like new age feminism that has some pretty extreme ideas, but the label anti-feminist That's not serious. That's stupid. What does it mean to be an anti-feminist? You're just against women? We want to go back. We want women to stop voting. We want women to stop working. I mean, what does it mean?
Privileges than men have, but with this new feminist movement that is arising, more of the third, fourth wave, we are finding, I think, that women are placed and pedestalized above men in a lot of ways. There's affirmative action hiring and scholarships where women, sometimes even regardless of academic standing or achievement, are prioritized above men. But men also have different privileges that they get to access. I struggle to say more, but I think I do agree with the feminist movement now there is more.
If you are born into this life with a vagina, you inherently have 10 times more privilege than a man. From the time they...
You're here crying about men not having power. She's just trying to get... This woman's seriously... She's just like into dudes that hate her. She just has like a... She's got some kind of kink for dudes that fucking hate her. Do women have more privilege than men? Do women have more privilege than men? I mean, in what way? Like, I wish they'd be more specific. Privilege. If you're talking about like the job market, opportunities, earnings and stuff like that, it does seem that in general, men do get, she's a pick-me. That's it. That's exactly the phrase I was looking for. It seems that women do get overlooked more often than men. You want me to ask ChatGPT? But then when it comes to like dating and sex and stuff, I guess I can see some, but that's just the way life is, man. I mean, because they don't. But then I don't even know if that's true. Is it really that men are just willing to fuck anyone that will let them? I mean, is it really like that shallow? Let's ask ChatGPT. Someone says, Ethan, do you really have to ask? Well, I'm trying to genuinely think this through. Like, I want to understand exactly what they're claiming here. Let's ask ChatGPT. Would you say that in today's society, women have more privileges than men? And I know what it's going to say. It's going to say, you know, men and women experience life in different ways. To say one has more privilege than the other, which is true, right? That's the true answer. It says it depends on the context. I agree. In some aspects, women have made significant strides towards equality and may even be perceived as having privilege. For example, in education. Wow, what a privilege to work in education and make no fucking money. Like the hardest job in the world to make like $40,000 a year. For example, in education, women now make up the majority of college and university students. Okay, that part, right. Right, I heard about that. And higher learning institutions, it's becoming like overwhelmingly women because men are just not, they're better students, or I don't know, there's some phenomenon going on. Additionally, there are numerous organizations and initiatives aimed at supporting women in various fields such as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, it is important to note that gender inequality still persists in various aspects of society. For example, the gender pay gap continues to be a significant issue in many countries, with women often earning less than men for the same work. Moreover, women are underrepresented in leadership positions, both in public and private sectors. In summary, this is actually a pretty concise answer. In summary, while some progress has been made towards gender equality, it's difficult to definitely state that women have more privilege than men. Different individuals may perceive the issue differently. Actually, that's interesting. That's a pretty good answer. And it's like, the premise that these women are like, we need to roll back women's rights. It's crazy. I think the normative position is that men are used to being first in line and getting what they want. White men, you know, like this is their birthright. Like I get the fucking promotion. I get the goddamn house on the corner. And now, not only do you have women coming in and competing for these jobs, you also have like minorities, black people. And these white motherfuckers are like, God damn, dude. This used to be my world. And now that it's more equal, it feels unequal because the status they're used to is extreme privilege. And so equality feels like an extreme disadvantage makes sense to me.
Are little. Girls are always like doted on and you're so pretty and cute.
Very coddled.
They're coddled,
Yeah.
right? As they should be, you know? We want that feminine, nurturing energy in them. You can kind of be a degenerate woman and have a hot body and be a millionaire on OnlyFans. Men don't have that privilege. Now, women don't
Okay, so we're giving... Women are privileged because they can do OnlyFans. The fuck?
have to like work to get a guy. They're just hot. And then guys come to them and spend their resources on them. A man has to prove himself. He has to build a body. He has to make money. He has to build...
Stupid. What percent of women are doing OnlyFans? Like, she acts like this is like a sizable portion of women are walking around like, I'm just a millionaire, absorbing all the men's money in the world. It's such a weird, dumb fucking point. That's privilege? What the fuck? Shut up. I mean, it's always been that way. Women used to be strippers. I mean, does that mean privilege for them? Because stripping is a pretty high paid job. Some places, you know, it's like, what the fuck? So stupid.
Influence. He has to become a protector, a provider. Women just have that naturally by just having a vagina, as I said.
That's why it's frustrating, because the feminist movement has been all about women acting like they don't have rights and acting like they have it pretty hard in the modern day world. I can't think of a single thing that I don't have that.
Guarantee that this girl's like hardcore Christian fundamentalist. This is straight girls defined shit right here.
That a guy has, or
that
you
they
know,
only have.
like,
I would say the
that
one
they
thing I
only
would
have.
say is
Again, it's so fucking narrow-minded. You go, if I'm not personally affected, that means that systemically, on the whole, there's no problem. I mean, what I'm hearing is that you are so short-sighted and uncaring and narcissistic and self-focused, you can't possibly conceive of a world that's different than yours.
thing. That's the only thing that I would say, is that women are disadvantaged from. By nature, women are not as physically strong. I mean, you're physically strong, but as physically strong.
I'll take it.
It's great biceps. And men just are. And if you're walking down a dark alley as a woman, you're going to feel some type of way sometimes,
That's
right?
why we need guns.
Well, there you go.
Girl, you just literally described one of the problems that women face. I don't think, you know, we should try to make women feel more comfortable. They shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, we as a society should strive to make a world where women aren't scared to walk by themselves at night. That's fucked up. Like, I don't ever walk around at night like scared that someone's going to come assault me. That's a big deal. That's a huge difference in terms of the way I live my life and the way you live your life. That's a big fucking difference.
I'm going to talk a little bit more about like the judicial system. When it comes to, let's say, domestic dispute, if a woman calls the police, they automatically show up, arrest the man. The Duluth model, I think is how you pronounce it. And that's already in place. It's not necessarily like a right or anything, but it's certainly in all of the police departments. Is if feminism is all about equality, why would you automatically arrest a man when they...
Yeah, I don't know a lot about this, but from what I've seen, there is actually some truth to this, that the legal system and the family courts are hugely biased towards the women. And, you know, if you think that through, it's fucked up now. I mean, you know, if you're a dad, those are your kids, those are your family. But if you think it through, it's like 50 years ago, the men worked, the women stayed home and took care of the kids. So it's like it's a relic, it's a layover from this kind of world. that apparently they're longing to go back to. But I think they might be right about this one, that it's unfair the way that the courts favor women in family court.
They arrest him. His name is in the newspaper automatically. The fact that a woman can say Jane Doe and she doesn't have to put her name out there, what skin in the game is there?
And there's so many.
Let me ask ChatGPT. Are women, how do I say this? Are women favored statistically in family court over men? Statistically, it's been observed that women have been more favored in family courts, particularly when it comes to child disputes. The historical trend can be attributed to various factors such as traditional gender roles and the tender years doctrine, which suggests that young children are better off with their mothers. However, it's essential to note that many countries and jurisdictions have been moving more towards equitable family court system. In recent years, there's been a growing emphasis on the best interests of the child and a shift towards joint custody or shared parenting arrangements. Both parents are actively involved in the child's life. This approach recognizes the importance of both parents and child's upbringing and development. It's also important to consider that each family court case is unique. Yeah. But yeah, it says say that there is a favoring to women in family courts over custody disputes. I do think it's getting better, though. You know, it's definitely something that is improving.
Instances of that. I know men personally who have had domestic violence within the relationship with children involved, unfortunately. And the woman attacked the man in front of the child, and he's still, I know 2 instances personally, and he's still fighting to get the child back. That's from the Me Too movement. Congratulations. You guys got that.
Hold on, what the fuck did you just say? Let me go back.
Attack the man in front of the child.
Newspaper automatically. The fact that a woman can say Jane Doe and she doesn't have to put her name out there, what skin in the game is there?
And there's so many instances of that. I know men personally who have had domestic violence within the relationship with children involved, unfortunately. And the woman attacked the man in front of the child, and he's still, I know 2 instances.
Okay, girl, you are done. Like the.
Personally, and he's.
All right, this video is annoying. People are just. Let me hear from the dudes.
Around our mental health where we can't talk about it and the suicide rate goes
So
up. We are in a patriarchal system.
No, hold on, let me tell you.
Those are the bounds we are within currently.
There's a lot
That's
of
toxic
Can I have
masculinity.
Mason complete his point? I'll encourage you to let the other person finish the point, and then of course you can take it forward, but let them talk.
Just real quick,
thing.
the systemic structures we are in
Yes.
are patriarchy. That is what has caused men to have this massive stigma around mental health,
Sure.
where we don't feel empowered to reach out. Men tend to not go to therapy. That leads to suicide, that leads to all of these big things. That's not caused by feminism. That was happening well before the feminist movement came into these
Let
new
him
waves.
finish. There's a lot of psychiatrists, psychologists, and economists, professors, all these people coming out saying that the actual psychology department.
Girl, what the fuck did you just say? You literally just made shit up. There's all these serious doctors and people, and they're all come together, and they said, psychology is becoming too feminine. Cite that, please.
Is feminized. I know.
No,
It's,
I'm processing what you're saying.
The psychology
It's weird, but the
department?
way that everything's processed is for women. So women and men process information differently. Men are like this in their brain. Women are. It's all over. And like, what the hell does that mean?
Well, it's
It
left
means
brain, right
that
brain.
When you
I wish it was
process
that
like
simple.
men need to solve the problem before they can process the emotion.
Women are
Women
emotional.
react
My
on
wing
emotion.
woman.
Yeah,
all the
that's
time.
it.
But so women have a tendency, not a tendency, they do better with talk therapy. That doesn't always work.
What
for
does this
men.
have to do with men falling behind? Female sex workers should be more respected.
professional as I can.
Yeah, as a
it
father
shows that you
specifically.
fail.
No.
No?
I don't think that I would fail. I would have complex feelings to navigate.
Yeah.
On a higher level, I don't think that there's anything inherently wrong with that profession, and I respect people who do it in a way that's fulfilling to them and that brings them happiness. If someone's doing that job and it doesn't bring them joy, obviously I would not.
But most of
encourage
the
them.
women
But you have to
are doing
understand
it
it's not
fulfilled.
bringing value or happiness to women.
I'm just trying not to wrap it all into one bundle because there's going to be exceptions. I think you just want to be careful of like putting a negative label over like so many people's lives.
I think should be negative though, so that young daughters don't run to her. And why don't we have more respect
them
for
enough
femininity?
These women are annoying. They're just pick-me's. That's it. They just want to go into like a cowboy bar and be like, that's right, I agree with you. I need me a big woman-hating cowboy. That's just what I'm into, boy. We can watch Carl Tuckerson together and Joe Rogan. I'm one of the boys. That's right. Crack me open a beer.
Shout out to ISIS. Dan